Welcome to Weekend Sport. I'm your host, Mmasekepe Matsebane. Today we're going to be talking about Kaizer Chiefs. Things are not going well for him. We've got Diani Mabasa in studio to unpack all those issues. I mean, yesterday Kaizer Chiefs, they lost 3-1 to Chippa United after scoring first, of course. And then we're going to be talking about Mamelodi Sundowns going to the Club World Cup, which will take place in Japan. Their first match is going to be next Sunday, but the tournament will start on Thursday. But I mean, to just start on matters of the day, on what happened yesterday night, Kaizer Chiefs. Diani, welcome.
No, thanks for having me, buddy. Good to be here.
I hear a deep sigh there. I don't know what the problem is. I mean,
maybe
Kaizer,
from Naturena.
Maybe you're from Naturena. I don't know, man. Let's just get into it. Kaizer Chiefs yesterday, they score first. People are excited. People are thinking things are finally coming back together. And then everything just goes pear-shaped. They just can't handle the second half. They end up losing 3-1. What went wrong?
You know, like, if you go back to the beginning of the season, they've actually flat out to deceive, you know. And which is not a surprise for me, because if you look at the makeup of that squad, people can point fingers at Steve Compel and all that, but if you have to be honest with yourself, you look at that squad, not a lot of people, players there deserve to play for Kaizer Chiefs. That's the first point, you know. And if you go to the technical team, yes, it's always easy to point at the coach, you know. Here in South Africa, if a team is not doing well, automatically, you know, the coach is the problem. But in this case, we won right from the beginning of the season that the squad that you have and the previous squads that you've had, you know, for the team with the biggest support base in the country, in my opinion, they're not able to compete in the market, you know, and that's the biggest problem.
But are they unable to compete, or they just don't want to compete in the market?
They don't want to compete. They don't want to pay the money, you know. How many times, think about it, how many times have you had that a certain player is going to Kaizer Chiefs, or Chiefs are interested in him, or he's interested in joining Kaizer Chiefs, and he ends up in Clorkop, you know, or at Vets. You know, that was unheard of, you know, in the past, where a player could be linked with Kaizer Chiefs and he ends up at Vets. Not disrespect to Vets, they know that themselves. You know, Tulani Tlashwayo comes to mind. He said, you know, he had an option to go to Chiefs, but he opted for Vets. That should tell you a lot, you know, about the fields that are leveled now, you know. It doesn't matter if it's Kaizer Chiefs, this big name that has existed in South African football. It's about, you know, players who want to, you know, to join teams that they feel they can achieve some success with them. And look at the players that have joined Vets. They've gone on to, you know, to win the MTN 8, you know, so why would I join Kaizer Chiefs when I can join Vets and win trophies anyway? You know what I mean?
I'd like to quickly, you know, just for the benefit of the viewers at home, you know, just so they can see the goals as they happened yesterday, as to how Kaizer Chiefs, you know, took the lead and then finally lost the match in a way that is very difficult, even for Steve Compel, with his philosophical English to explain.
Things can happen for Pirates! Oh my goodness!
Despite his side playing to a 2-1 draw against Highlands Park on Saturday evening, Orlando Pirates striker Tendai Ndoro continued with his goal-scoring form. Ndoro scored a brace to move his goal-scoring tally to 11th in the league.
11 in 11. The guilty party there.
Meanwhile, Kaizer Chiefs' poor run in the Absa Premiership continued as they suffered a 3-1 defeat against Chippa United. Spio Chabala gave Chiefs a lead going into the break. However, the Chile boys regrouped in the second stanza, as a brace from Lrado Manzini was enough for Dan Malisella's men to pick up maximum points. Elsewhere, Mamelodi Sundowns bounced back to winning ways, following the impressive 4-1 victory over Free State Stars. The Brazilians are off to Japan for the FIFA Club World Cup, brimming with confidence. AN7 Sports Desk.
Well, I've heard people already call him Pesitau, they're calling him Mesitau, but that's a discussion we're going to have a bit later. Tiani, I want to go back to this discussion we're having about Kaizer Chiefs. We heard the interview that Coach Steve Compel did after the match. He was asked, what's your message to the team? He said he doesn't have a message because he can't have a message when things are going this way. And then he talked about a defeat, you know, having one is an orphan, and then, I mean, those parables that we can't understand. But let's talk about his, you know, job safety. Is he safe? Could we see something happening this week?
Yeah, remember they have so many fans, you know. The Chiefs have millions of fans, you know. So obviously when they start putting the pressure on the team to release the coach, eventually the club will have no other option but to do that, you know. And we've seen some incidents at stadiums where fans are reacting, you know. And you can see it's just basically ugly at the moment, you know. So it won't surprise me if they act based on the pressure that they're getting from the fans, you know. So that won't be surprising at all. I would expect them to do that.
But what should happen? Is Steve Komphela the right man? What we've seen last season, what we've seen so far, is he the right man to take Chiefs forward?
You know the questions they need to answer first. Is Steve Komphela the problem at Chiefs? If they can say yes to that, then they can release him. But if they have any doubts about that, then they have to look at everything. In my opinion, it's easy to say Steve Komphela must go because the coach must account for what's happening. But I've always maintained the problem at Chiefs is not only Steve Komphela. He may be the problem, but, you know, for me, the mere fact that they're not able to compete in the transfer space, that for me gives, a lot of problems because if, say for example, let's look at it this way. If Steve Komphela submitted a wish list, if it was maybe made up of 10 players that he wanted, if I asked now, did he get a single player from that wish list? You know, if I say no, I wouldn't be far off, you know, because, you know, the way they're dealing in the transfer market is going for players that are valuable for them, you know, not where they can really compete in getting those players. Look at Sundowns, for example. They have so many attacking players, yet they still went for Villa, and they got him. Now, you know, even if he's there, Sundowns can score goals. If he's there, Sundowns can still score goals, you know. So they have so many options.
Then one last question before I let you go, just to look at the Sundowns, issue of them going to Japan.
Yeah.
Then, in your opinion, having studied Kaizer Chiefs, having followed Kaizer Chiefs, having reported on Kaizer Chiefs, what do you say? What do you think? What do you suggest should happen at Kaizer Chiefs?
I say firing Steve Komphela will not be a solution for Chiefs because I still believe that the players that they have, without mentioning any names, there are so many of them that don't deserve to wear that jersey, in my opinion. Not disrespect to them. You know, for me, some of the players must consider themselves very lucky to have been associated with Kaizer Chiefs. I'm saying, even if you bring in Jose Mourinho, go into the transfer space and compete. This thing of we're going to get this one on a free transfer or get that player that nobody expected you to even get, it's not going to work for Chiefs. For me, it's not going to work. Get into the transfer space, compete with Vets, compete with Pirates, you know, compete with Sundowns. I hear some people comparing and saying that, but you talk about Chiefs, but Pirates as well. But if you look at Pirates, they've been to the Confederations Cup final. They've been to the Nedbank Cup final just in May. You know, yes, Chiefs were there in the final, in the finals in the past season. But we expect this Kaizer Chiefs team, you know, to at least win a trophy every season, you know, because, like I said, they have the biggest support base. The players they bring, you know, must reflect that, in my opinion, that they are the best supported team in the country.
I think we should park it there for now. We will continue on this discussion. I know you're gonna be spending a whole lot of time in Naturena this coming week. We will continue on this discussion, and I don't know if Steve Komphela is watching this show. I don't think Diani Mabas is one of his favorite people at the moment. We're gonna move now to Mamelodi Sundowns. They're gonna be leaving for Japan tomorrow, where they will be playing at the Club World Cup. Sundowns will be. This is the tournament where you're gonna find Real Madrid. It's gonna be a very, very interesting tournament. We took our time earlier today to sit down with the Mamelodi Sundowns assistant coach, Rulani Mokwena. He was with Mohomi there, Lucky Mohomi, they call him Fabregas, out in Chlorocop. Let's see how it all went down. We are hanging out with the Mamelodi Sundowns assistant coach, Rulani Mokwena. There's also Lucky Mohomi, someone that we've been trying for, I don't know, months since he signed for Mamelodi Sundowns from Free State Stars to come join us. We couldn't get them to come in studio because, I mean, the team is leaving tomorrow for the Club World Cup in Japan, so we decided to, visit Mamelodi Sundowns headquarters in Chlorocop to speak to them. Coach Fabri, welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to be with you guys. Thank you very much.
I think I must start with you, Fabri, about just the excitement from a player's perspective. You've joined in, you've won the Champions League, now you've got the Star. There's the Club World Cup now. I mean, you must be in a different space, a different world.
Yeah, firstly, thank you for having me. Yeah, I'm very much happy now and excited about everything that's happening. From moving from a smaller team and then to being here. I mean, in a short space of time. But I'm really loving it and I'm looking forward to it.
Are you going to be able to sleep though? I mean, today, thoughts of, I'm going to miss the flight, all those. I mean, when you were still in high school, they say there's a big trip. You're thinking, I can't sleep, I'm going to miss my flight now.
Because I've been traveling with the team, so, but then again, it's Japan after all, and it's a Club World Cup. So, everybody already for Aira, or everybody wants to go there. So, then happy for Kara.
And then, coach, to bring you in here, I mean, I know the players will be excited. For the players, it's to come up against, you know, your Ronaldos if they get to the final. But for you guys, this is where the work really begins. I don't think you're going to manage to sleep. Those emails that we hear of at 3 a.m., they must be flowing now.
Yeah, we've started with the work. We've started to try to anticipate who we could more or less play against. Our analysis has always been meticulous and spot on, and we will continue with the same sort of culture. You know, we've established a culture where we believe a lot in hard work and we believe in putting a lot of work behind the scenes. So it's work as normal. It's to try to go to the World Cup, to play the games and not to play the occasion, and that's the most important thing for us.
I'm thinking just making it there on merit, just winning the Champions League on its own. It says to you guys that you're on, I mean, I'd say the same level as the teams that are there.
Yeah, I think a lot of credit needs to go to the players first for the work that they put in, for the sacrifices, you know, to travel into Africa. You've got to put in a lot of hours, and you miss a lot of work and hours with family and personal time, you know. And the players were able to make those sacrifices and put in a lot of hard work, and these are the just rewards. But also, you know, a lot of credit needs to go to not just everybody else associated with the club for the work that they've put in, but for the president, who's had this vision and this drive to see this club where it is today. And that goes to show and teach other leaders about the principles of leadership, you know, and the importance of having a vision when you're a leader. And the president has stayed consistent and true to the vision that he's had for this club. And it's only gratifying when you see the club at the level where he envisioned it to be, you know. So I think in this moment in time, it's about us having a lot of emotional intelligence, to be sober, celebrate that we are here, but at the same time also accept that it comes with a lot of responsibility to be at the World Cup and make sure that we maintain the standards that we have set for ourselves. And I think that is the focus that we have at this moment.
And Lucky, the coach is talking about the focus, he's talking about the sacrifices that you guys have had to make. I mean, to Mamelodi, but I don't think they even see you as much as they used to when you were still playing at Free State Stars.
Obviously, firstly, I get like a new team, and then I had to adjust to the system and everything. But so far, with the help of the coaches and my fellow teammates, I'm getting there slowly but surely. And then as time goes on, right, and then they'll be seeing more. And
then on a personal level, though, I just want to understand this. When the team was out, and you see your name in there, I mean, this is like the World Cup, the AFCON, and we're waiting for the national team coach to announce the team, and then you see your name there. I mean, your head, where was it?
Like, yeah,
changing yourself and all these things.
I'm excited. I'm being part of the team along for Japan, and then I believe obviously the team will do well. But me personally, I'm very much happy.
And you say more is still to come. I don't know. Breaking it down since you joined, where would you say you are, and how much more can we expect?
I was not there before, so and then there's still room to improve. and ke nagana hore bit by bit ke tlo ya mo le gore tshwantse ke be ko teng.
So mara re tlo bolla ka percentage and say okay, like you fihlile, like he is getting to learn the sundown system, the sundowns way, piano and shoe shine and tswara fora. Now re bolla ka percentage like o kare 70, 80, 50 o moka.
Personally no ke bona ngare maybe ke shana bo mari 70 ke mo. Yeah, and then
It's a rev. The car is still revving, it's still going up.
yeah, it's a change gear nyana and then yeah, tla ba mo tshwantse be go teng.
Coach, let's talk about this, the preparations, your matches in the league. I mean, the way you guys, because I don't think this is more about the league, but the league plays a role in terms of you preparing for this tournament. In terms of how you started in the league, you know, as a lead up to this Club World Cup, are you satisfied? Do you feel you could have gotten more?
I think if you look at the preparation, you've got two perspectives. One is to look from a tactical perspective in terms of assessing the principles of play and the game model that we've established. And if you look at that, you then say to yourself, the major hurdle has been to integrate the new players like Lucky, players like Zachary, who unfortunately then got injured, Anele, who got injured, Tapelo Morena. So there's been players that have come in who we've had to integrate into the game model and to understand the way of working, not just from a 90 minutes perspective, but from a preparation training curriculum perspective, because the way we work in terms of Mamelodi Sundowns is a little bit different with regards to making sure that we prepare when we have the time, but making then the players to be able to manage and to be at a level where they can compete when we don't have the time, because the program is chock-a-blocked where you play Wednesday, Saturday. So within that program, it is only about regeneration and activation in terms of making sure that you are ready for the games, you know, in 90 minutes. But the second part and the second facet and the challenge that we faced has been, how do you then help the players who are coming back from injury to be able to give them enough minutes and to make sure that you are preparing them to be able to perform at the World Cup. And those are the players like Leonardo Castro, who was out and had a lengthy layout. Dennis Onyango in and out of the team, but we need to make sure that by the time we reach the World Cup, he's at a competitive level in terms of his performance and he's able to contribute to the success of the club. And Kama Biliat, who we've had to give a couple of minutes recently, Keegan Dolly, who's also suffered injuries. So we've had a couple of challenges from a technical perspective in terms of managing and integrating the new players into the game model, but also from a physical and psychological perspective to give the players a bit more confidence, the ones that come back from injuries, to try and prepare them for the intensity that we're about to face at the Club World Cup. So it's been challenging, but I think we've been able to do very well with that. And at this moment in time, it's for us to just now focus on preparing and presenting the team at the World Cup, and hopefully the boys will come to that level.
Because I don't think issues of motivation are a big problem. I mean, this is the Club World Cup.
No, I think we are blessed at Sundowns to have players that have what we call intrinsic motivation. These are players that drive themselves to achieve even great things. I mean, a story which just raises and highlights that case is the story of Hlompho Kekana, who at the beginning of the season spoke to me and said, "Coach, I don't play football for the money. I play football to leave a legacy." And a couple of months later, I mean, he's been nominated with in and amongst some of the top players in the world, Neymar's and the likes. So that already in itself is about highlighting how important it is to have players that are driven not just by external elements, but also are driven by their own internal drive to be able to achieve and leave legacies and to help the club to move forward in terms of achieving the goals and the targets that we've set for ourselves. And I think you know, we can only compliment the players for that, because they take that responsibility to be motivated and to achieve a certain level of performance, and that can only bring you a level consistency with regards to the results, and that's what you see with us at the club.
And then for you, Lucky, it must be, I mean, the coach is talking about Kekana as well, the drive that he has. I mean, he's a quality player, no doubt about that. I mean, for you to be coming in, playing with him in midfield, also learning from him, it must be doing a world of good for you.
Yeah, obviously, it's an honor for Kitale with such quality players. And then at one point, I want the ropes. I want few things there and there, so I'm learning from them. And then in due time, traveling compare with the likes of them. And then I'm happy with the Pushkash Award. And then it's truly an inspiration to a lot of us youngsters out there with belief and hard work. And then everything will fall into place.
And when you came from Free State, I'm trying to get, not just the level of expectation from the fans, not just the level of expectation from the coaches, from management, but I mean for yourself as well. I mean, it must be a certain level. There must be a certain level of stepping up your game, a level of demanding something from yourself. Has that happened?
Yeah, obviously. This is a bigger team than Free State, so some of the things trying to change, and then I need to push more. I need to work hard more, and then like everything it's different from where I come from. So in order for Konoba on their level, I need to do more.
So how join? I mean, we interview guys all the time. You talk of, I want to win titles. I want to be in the national team. I want to go to Europe. Well, I think we're running a bit out of time there. The interview will continue a bit later. But I mean, I'm still hanging with Diani Mabasa, Sawotian writer there. Diani, just one question before I let you go. Sundowns going to the Club World Cup, how do you see them doing? I mean, the expectations are high, the first South African team to make it to that space. How do you see them doing?
I think they're not just going to add to the numbers. If you look at the quality of the squad, they can compete against the teams, especially at the early stages. If you look at possibly they're going to play Auckland City from New Zealand, or Kashima Antlers from Japan. For me, they can compete against those teams, and if they progress to the semis on December 14, then it means they play Atlético Nacional from Colombia. I still believe that they can compete. Obviously the final, if they make it there, possibly they play Real Madrid. That's when it gets more difficult. But with the quality that they have, I think they can compete, no doubt about that.
I think South Africans will be waiting to see. It's been a few months. We've been talking about that Cristiano Ronaldo celebration, the Kama Billiard celebration. So if Mamelodi Sundowns are to play against Real Madrid in that final, Billiard versus Ronaldo, there's Messi, there's Dolly, there's Castro, a whole lot of things are going to happen there. Well, there's been a live broadcast of Weekend Sport from our Midland studios. From me, Mmasekepe, Matsebane, and the rest of the team. I be Boroko.